9 matchup. We are all set to go.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly or behind closed doors. He probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
4 yards on the pickup.
Now a 2nd and 6.
At the 30-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now here's Mahomes.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Josh Hines-Allen there on the stop. We can look at this defense.
We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Over the middle, complete. That's Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And bulldozing his way through. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
40 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a 1st down.
Up the middle they go. Holloway. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
At the 15-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
And he returns this to the 22.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first-half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Here's Hall again.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
That's good for a Dublin first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
They find some open field here. And he'll have it past midfield. Almost to the 40 before being taken down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41.
It's a gain of 25 yards.
He's going to try and do this himself.
And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
Back at the 45-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Looking to throw. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it.
So they get the conversion on 4th, and now from the 25, they operate with a 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Shamrocks are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. As we check out the league leaders in passing yards, you can see he's right up there among the best in the NFL at this point in the season.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 27-yard line.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Dublin's offense now set to take over. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, They want to keep going, but what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
At the Chiefs' 39-yard line.
Dublin with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. Paul want to give up the middle. And all the way in for the touchdown. Breece Hall with career touchdown number 175, tying Emmitt Smith for second most all time, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Second and 8 at the 28-yard line.
Mahomes now to throw. That went out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Christian Gonzalez. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Option play, here's Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson's got it complete. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
They're going to look to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. And that last throw not going to count for much in the grand scheme of things. Now the red challenge flag makes an appearance as Andy Reid wants a second opinion.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass. He'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A great effort there. 29 yards. And the Shamrocks take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Just a 4-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down in the yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Yellow,
at the
yellow.
44-yard line.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Now Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here's Mahomes to throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant.
Well, the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Point after, right down the middle. And it makes the score 21-10.
Chiefs 10.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44. The Shamrocks offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this 1st half.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Now back to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
He's got room to roam.
And finally taken down at the 4-yard line.
Now we've got a stoppage for an injured player, and that appears to be Garrett Wilson, who is shaken up on the play.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
They'll run with Hall.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Shamrocks are able to stretch out their lead.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And now here comes Kansas City.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, the same tempo, the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 35-yard line.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
He gets this one complete to Rice.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
22 yards. That's good for Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Mahomes to throw once more. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Chavez. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes.
He's got room at the 30.
And down to the 29-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yellow.
Back to throw again.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's building his case for MVP consideration with each passing week. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes as we move into the back half of the season.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 19.
They'll go again with Hall. Now he's free to midfield. Breece Hall. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
It's a gain of 69 yards. That's good for a Dublin first down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Chambers. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Shamrocks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs on 1st and 10 at their own 24. Flipping left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
At the 45-yard line.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Watkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
11 more yards. That's another Kansas City Chiefs first down.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Another Kansas City Chiefs first down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Second and goal from inside the 5. Mahomes gets it out quickly, and it's complete out wide. Stopped short, down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. Mahomes now on the sneak. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. It's complete. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short. And they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And how about this? Here comes the reverse. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Dublin's offense now set to take over. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
2nd and 11. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way gun. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And the Dublin first down.
They'll look to throw again. And incomplete on the deep ball. Third quarter action from Kansas City. 2nd down and 10. They'll set up the screen for Hall. Dances by at the 20. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
We're back now in KC, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Powering his way forward. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
At the 27-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that's nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Jacob Hicks there defensively.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll try to run with Hall.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal.
Hall again.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Breece Hall
with career touchdown number 176, moving him past Emmitt Smith and into second place all time.
And the Shamrocks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And not much happening on the return as they get this to about the 23. The Chiefs offense set to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete.
And 10 yards to go.
Yellow.
Mahomes going to throw.
He'll fire deep, looking for more.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Shamrocks are on their way to a 9-0 start as they build on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
First down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll look to run with Hall.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Breece Hall.
Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Shamrocks are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead.
Chiefs 19.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. KC's offense ready to take over. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
Mahomes now to throw. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because the defense got hit. They were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Ready up.
Try and start this drive in the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
17-yard line.
They'll set up to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less.
They're going to look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Elijah Higgins,
His first touchdown on the year.
and the Shamrocks add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now here's Mahomes.
He'll try and do this himself.
Gets past one man. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs.
Now Mahomes. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 42-yard line.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Mahomes to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
3rd and 3.
Now back to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.